Let's talk about online safety for children during the COVID-19 uh, pandemic. Hi, I'm Valmiki Mukherjee, Chairman and founder of Cyber Future Foundation, a Texas-based nonprofit education platform for leaders and executives on cybersecurity matters. In my day job, I work as a managing director in the cybersecurity advisory practice of Ernst& Young, and I have to give the natural caveat that the views I state are based on my personal opinion about children's safety online. Now, I have to thank Parry Aftab for the admirable work that she is doing in keeping kids safe online. I am really honored to be invited by Parry to be part of her crusade against child exploitation in cyberspace, especially during these unprecedented times. With the COVID-19 pandemic, the world has entered into an uncharted territory. Immediate society has moved to social distancing and various levels of physical isolation. We must do all this to reduce the spread and flatten the curve. This has already made an impact in our daily lives and livelihood. Most businesses where they can have shut down and send their people home. And now working from home and in physical isolation has become the new norm. Considering the fact that seasoned professionals and adults themselves are unable to predict the path forward, it is understandable with kids with school closures and parents working from home are in a state of confusion and anxiety. Uh, while we get used to the new normal, technology and digital connectivity has proved to be a boon for us to keep the world running. But as many of us realize, we are now overexposed as a society to the cyber criminals and theft, and need to be very careful about our cyber hygiene. As parents and guardians, it is, of course, our first and primary responsibility to ensure that children are protected and in good health. Not only is it necessary about physical health and well being, following all the good measures that authorities and experts recommend, but also it is extremely important to protect the children online as they get to spend more time now than ever before with with the digital devices. With the current situation, there is definitely more exposure to cyber stalking, bullying, and exploitation of all kinds. As a parent of a school-going kid, now staying home, this is very personal to me as it is to you. Here's what I think we can do as parents, as professionals, as a member of the broader civil society to make sure our children are protected. As a parent, based on the age of development of the child, we'll have to watch what our children and their presence online and activity is, and as they spend more time online now. Now, talk to other parents and the school community as I have done myself is draw up a set of I would say whitelisted websites or applications that they can use and go to. And in discussing with the parent communities, we have landed on a site called Dreambox. We've also signed up for Khan Academy, which lets you control the learning in a more structured way. There is also a site called Prodigy that you could use, and in general, there is more and more access to, I would say, YouTube and Netflix to a great extent, but especially careful with YouTube as more parents stay home. If the kids' content is not carefully curated, and you leave YouTube on autopay, there's a good chance that they will end up seeing something that you will not be happy about. Now, you definitely want to put some limits both on online as well as physical access to the internet and technology in certain spaces. And I think let's be open with them about why we feel that we need to monitor their activities. One practical topic here is we need to talk to children directly about cyberbullying. It's very hard to identify until it goes to some nasty phase. It's difficult to identify the perpetrator. Chances are that the kids are getting bullied by someone pretending to be another kid, but they are really not kids, right? Ironically, a time when we need to be having more social bonding, we have to ask children to watchful about developing any new relationships online, especially if they don't know them. And it in this case, you have to not only monitor but also educate them in general. For teens and young adults, it's actually a very hard time. They need to be reminded of their actions online can be permanent and hard to recover from. They particularly are vulnerable to the online sexual and emotional exploitation. They need to be watchful of anyone asking them to or say something that they would not be comfortable in doing or saying in the presence of others. If this happens, they need to promptly let their parents know. Now, this can lead to situations which can emotionally and socially leave permanent scars on them and will be psychologically hard to recover from. So, In general, I think while it's responsible for us, the overall responsibility is to be watchful, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. And necessity is the mother of invention. And in this crisis, we'll probably learn a lot of new things that will become normal in our daily course as we wade through this crisis. And there will definitely a chance for us to be more kind and considerate to others. Also, a great opportunity for us to take the time to be with our families, spend time that we would have probably never had. Generally focus on your health and emotional well-being, connect together as a family, and then in a neighborhood as online as possible. And then particularly children, we have to ensure that they're optimistic, they have hope, and they realize that the adults around them are doing everything that they can to ensure their good health, safety, security, and privacy. And we have to navigate this calamity with hope and pragmatism and responsible leadership. So I will leave you with that, and wish you all a very safe and healthy journey through our way out of this COVID-19 pandemic crisis. And please stay in contact with each other and use as much as technology as possible, but responsibly, especially with kids. Thank you very much.